What's up, gamers? Welcome back to Articulate, the podcast where I'm anything but. And something else that I'm anything but is consistent, which is actually thoroughly disappointing because that was literally the whole point of this podcast, was to stay consistent. Literally, if I came on here and was like, "What's up, guys? It's been getting pretty hot lately. Alright, catch you in the next," like, that would be perfectly acceptable. But literally for 2 weeks in a row, I've been caught up in my head like, oh, there's not enough time to film an episode. What if someone walks in on me? Which is stupid because my door literally has a lock on it, which is a luxury I haven't always been afforded, you know? Pretty crazy stuff, you know, having a lock on my door. And it's not like I've never had a lock on my door. There was a time in my life when I had a room that didn't have a lock on it. And I was like, dang, this sucks. Privacy much? I don't know if that made sense. Anyway, today I kind of believe in myself, even though I shouldn't be believing in myself due to, first of all, the consistency thing, and second of all, the past, how I've behaved in the past, because I haven't written down any notes for this, not a single little thing. So we really are just winging it, dude. And I'm already sensing how this is absolutely the worst possible idea. And it truly makes no sense to me whatsoever how, like, I was setting this up, listening to loud music in my ear holes, kind of a little bit paying attention to a Twitch stream, and like setting this up, I guess, which isn't the most complicated thing to do. You know, I'm pretty good at it now, but like, it's not nothing. So, like, I've just set up this table, put this computer here with the laptop cooling fan I forgot to turn on, plug my mic in, set up OBS, set up the camera. Sometimes I forget about the camera somehow. I guess because technically I'm not on camera, like my face, but all of this is on camera, I guess. And I'm not good at addressing the camera. Like, I'm looking at my phone right now, and that's super foreign to me. That's super weird. Like, why would I be looking at my phone, talking to it like it's a person? I'll just do this, hunch over, do my computer stuff, and just pretend it's not there, you know? What the actual hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, it makes no sense to me how, while I'm setting this all up, doing stuff, I'm thinking of topics. I'm like, oh, I can talk about this thing and talk about this thing, and then that can lead into this. And then if I run out of ideas, maybe try to remember this thing. And the second I hit record, it's just all of that processing power that my brain previously had has just gone out the window. It makes not a single ounce of sense. Just every time, without fail, the second I hit record on anything, I'm just completely dumbfounded, dude. There's nothing I can think of at all. And like, when I'm here, I'm not doing anything. I'm not setting anything up. I'm not listening to loud music or trying to watch a Twitch stream. Although I have the Twitch stream up right now, and it's like doing stuff here, and I'm like, maybe I should close that or change the tab or something. It's kind of distracting, kind of, not really, I don't know. But yeah, I'm sitting here, not even holding the mic. Like, I'm not doing anything, I'm just speaking. It's really quite interesting how I can be so incredibly bad at that. I think because there are very few people that I can actually ever speak my mind about or with. And I don't mean speak my mind as in like I'm not myself around other people. I'm like, my brain just turns off around other people. It's like clicking record and not being able to think of topics and stuff to say, which is weird because my brain half works sometimes. Like, someone will say something and I'm like, wait a minute, I can make a joke about that. This is a wonderful opportunity. And then I'm like thinking and I'm like, what even is a joke, dude? Like, where am I? Who am I? It just truly, my brain just turns off. It's pretty bizarre. Other than like 1.5 people that doesn't happen around. Kind of, I don't know. I'm getting slightly more comfortable, maybe? I also don't interact with people at all. So I think in my head, I'm like, if I were to interact with someone, I would be able to think of all these things and say all these things. Like, when I think of a job interview or something, I don't know why that's like, I was gonna say I don't know why that's one of the more like default situations I think of, but like the only time I would interact with people would be if I were at a job. So that's how I interacted with people before. I would go home and like sleep and maybe do some other things, and then I would get up and go do my job. So now, in the theoretical situations that happen in my brain, I'm a lot more sure of myself and a lot more confident. But I think when I'm actually there, my brain will probably turn off like it does everywhere else. Which is also kind of weird because I can make up pretty realistic scenarios in my head. I know everyone's always like thinking of arguments in their head that they're always winning, and that's like a funny haha joke. But legitimately, I do that and it's fairly realistic, I feel like. Maybe not realistic, but it's like I can think of arguments and various points that I want to make, and then modify that and like think of good stuff. It's like a good exercise. And I'm like thinking properly, I'm like doing stuff. In these imaginary scenarios, I'm acting like a regular person, and I'm acting very cool and awesome and great. Kind of like how I am in real life, you know? When I'm around those 1.5 people that my brain actually functions correctly around. If anything, it functions at an elevated level. I'm like hilarious. I'm witty. I'm smart. I'm awesome around those people. And I can like bounce off jokes, make really good points, be a very poignant person. I think maybe that's the word I'm thinking of. Maybe not. What does poignant mean? Maybe I could look it up. I am standing right in front of a computer, almost crouching in front of it actually, doing the splits, and it actually hurts my knees. I think I need to stop doing that. I think the mic picks me up pretty well. I've seen people with this mic, like Twitch streamers, and it's like far away on this boom arm thing. They're like screaming and shouting and it works properly. Mine doesn't do that, and I don't really know why. I know it's probably weird, complicated settings that I have to change in OBS and whatnot, but it doesn't make any sense. What was I looking at? Poignant. Okay, arousing deep emotion, especially pity or sorrow. Touching, synonym is moving. Keenly distressing to the mind or feelings. Physically painful. Okay, so this actually might not have been the word I was thinking of, but maybe? No, that's right down here. It says piercing. Maybe don't point at it, stupid. Use the mouse cursor. It says piercing. Maybe? Oh, look at this. Do Redditors know what poignant means? It says poignant can also mean neat, eloquent, applicable, relevant. Okay. Maybe. Sometimes I talk about music. Okay, let me enunciate real quick. Sometimes I talk about music on here. And I've actually gone back to listening to, first of all, Joe's album, Crux, or The Crux, I think. Because that's a banger of an album. I actually didn't like it that much at first. But the songs on there are so good. My favorite song is Potion. That song is legendary. And the song Egg, there's a lyric on there. He literally says, can one be kind? Or no, he says, can one be great? Can one be kind? When history shows they're not intertwined. Like, what do you mean, dude? That's like the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Absolutely insane. I've also gone back to listening to I Got Heaven by Mannequin Pussy. It's like my favorite album. And I think maybe I've solidified that fact because I just keep listening to it. It's incredible. I keep seeing their posts on Instagram and I'm like, dang it, dude. I wish I like had a life so I could go to their shows. That would be awesome. They're probably legendary to see live. But I should maybe talk about something else. I definitely did think of a lot of topics and I'm like, oh wow, these are really just right there. This is going to be obvious. This is going to come up immediately and I'm going to know what to talk about. And so far that's not happening. It's almost been 14 minutes, so I think I might end it soon. But let me pace around for approximately 28 seconds and see if I can come up with one of these topics that I came up with earlier. And then I'll say that, and then I'll end it. Maybe I don't even need to narrate this. Like, I don't need to explain what I'm about to do. I can literally just... Oh my god, this was literally so obvious, dude. It was right there. What the... There's a moth in my room right now. Yo, I just got this tiny little bat. Maybe I can absolutely annihilate that moth? I don't know why moths keep coming into my room. I've killed like 2 of them. They're like this massive. And low-key, I spoke about that empathy thing on a White Knuckle episode that I don't think came out yet. But it's kind of depressing. I don't know if I like killing bugs anymore. It actually almost makes me cry every time. Because literally there's like a stain on the wall there and over here. Because of the 2 moths that I killed. I already said how big they were. This one's significantly smaller. I don't know where it went, and there's like hair touching me, and I'm like, is that the moth? I'm afraid. And also something happened to my leg. What was that even? I heard something, dude. I like how I'm like, it makes me cry, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, I will annihilate you with this bat. That's cruel and unusual. I don't know if my hair is just being weird, or if there's a moth. That's not a moth. Yeah, moths be in my room for some reason. I have no clue where they're coming from, but I really hope there's not a moth stuck in my hair or something. My majestic locks, dude, my luscious locks. I'll talk about this bat in a future episode, maybe. Probably. Hopefully. But yes, this was one of the things that was super obvious because I missed 2 weeks of the podcast. The podcast its concept is that it's nothing. It's essentially shitposting on the internet. in order to stay consistent, and I can't even do that. But I've kind of ruined my sleeping schedule a little bit, and I think this might be another point in my life where I'm like, oh shit, everyone was right about everything. I'm a stupid idiot. Because people who are like, make your bed in the morning, it'll be good for momentum or whatever. And the momentum thing I did know, and I do sort of build momentum in my life. A little bit, sometimes. But truly the way that I start my day will make or break the day. Because I've been waking up late at like 2 p.m. or something every day, something crazy like that. And I'm like, there's just no time to do anything. And then usually it's lunchtime, and I do live with someone who like brings me lunch, and I'm like, I don't deserve this. What the hell? And so usually I wake up to that, and then I eat the lunch, and then I'm full, and then I can't really exercise or do stretches. Because recently on a TikTok or Instagram short or Instagram reel or something, I don't remember what it was, on a short form video, I saw this thing, which means that it might actually not even be true, but I believe I've heard this before, maybe, but it's actually better if you do stretches not with cold muscles. You gotta warm up first. You gotta do some jumping jacks, some high knees, some stuff. You know, just get the blood pumping and then do stretches, and it's more efficient, apparently. And I can't do that after eating lunch, dude, because then I feel super full and I'm like jumping, and I can like feel the shit in my stomach bouncing around, and I'm like, this sucks. So then I wait a bit, but it takes forever for me to eat, and then I have to digest all that, and then it's dinner time? That might be too, that timeline might be a bit wonky, but yeah, and then there's not enough time to do anything in the day, and a lot of the time for some reason at night, I'm like afraid to be up and doing things. I maybe know why that is, actually. That's low-key trauma, but I always mess up my schedule, and then I forget that if I'm asleep when everyone's awake, and then I go to sleep when everyone is awake. Wait, did I just say the same thing twice? When it's completely flipped, the regular nighttime is my daytime, and I should be like working on stuff and writing things and being productive at night if I'm going to be awake all night. But usually I'm like, oh, it's time to lay in bed and watch YouTube and brain rot and whatever, which is pretty stupid. I need to not do that anymore. And I'm actually not going to do that now. I'm going to end this podcast first of all. Or I guess not. That's going to be last of all, because then you wouldn't hear anything else that I'm going to say. But I wanted to say first that I am going to upload this technically today on Saturday. Like, I am not going to go to sleep until this is uploading on YouTube. I don't know why I pointed there. I should point here maybe, because this is like the YouTube video. This is like what you guys are seeing, or I guess you're seeing up here maybe. Where's the frame at? I don't know. Something like that. I'm probably rambling. This is probably horrible, and that's definitely the point. And I seem to keep forgetting that that's the point. I'm not gonna elaborate on anything that I just said. Farewell. This has been articulate with me every single juncture. But you knew that because you clicked on it, and you can read, period. You can read the channel name, among other things. Maybe. I don't know, maybe you're on YouTube and you can't read. There's a lot of people who don't read books, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I would elaborate, but this has gone on too long. I need to upload this in several hours before I pass out. Leave a comment, I suppose.